greater society tend to listen. The Watts riots in 1965. The Rodney King protests in 1992.
But they done, black men!
Moments in LA history spawning movements for change. Much like is happening now, following the death of George Floyd during an arrest by a Minnesota police officer.
When peaceful protests haven't yielded the respect that they deserve, a lot of times communities get frustrated, and that's what we see bubble over.
Dr. Alyssa Richardson, a journalism professor at USC, says protests and boycotts, including economic ones, have led to sustainable change. On his Instagram, the rapper T.I. is imploring people of color to not spend money on July 7th, what he dubbed Blackout Day 2020, citing millions of dollars in collective purchasing power.
And I think rapper T.I. is asking for us to do is to think of beyond the marching, beyond the protests.
An economic-based approach, she says, has been successful, pointing to the Montgomery, Alabama bus boycott put together by Black Americans in 1955.
The whole aim of that movement was to hit the pockets where it hurt, and it eventually did work. Segregation on buses was ruled unconstitutional.
Activist Cesar Chavez used the same strategy to fight for the rights of farm workers in the 70s. Political economy professor at Claremont McKenna College, Cameron Shelton, notes companies take notice of consumers' actions.
A single bad day isn't going to sink a business, right? So I think the issue is whether the potential damage to brand is going to lead to lasting pain.
The I-Team obtained this letter signed by executives from 27 Minnesota companies like Best Buy, General Mills, and U.S. Bank. It condemns Floyd's death, calls for action against the officers involved, adding, "We are committed to taking steps to eliminate the repeat of events like this in our society, and committed to investing in substantive change in our organizations and the communities we serve to address racial inequities and social justice."
I think to lead to lasting social change, typically a consumer boycott needs to be part of a broader package of pressure.
And using the tools we have in this generation, videos, social media, is a big part of getting a response faster.
There are some ways to get involved, and silence at this point is just not helpful.
And she adds that another way to achieve lasting change is to vote. Vote in midterms, vote in national elections. Vote out people who you believe are not reacting or standing up for your rights. For the I-Team, Lolita Lopez, NBC4 News.
Thank you, Lolita. Let's take you